Hello YouTube, Robin Hood Bricks here, and it's video 150. So to celebrate, I'm going to do a full city tour. So first of all, welcome to this special city tour, and an extra special welcome to all my new subscribers since the last one, which is a great number of you, thankfully. I also want to take this opportunity to thank a lot of the commenters and subscribers who provided a lot of input, a lot of feedback, and a lot of excellent suggestions that have improved my city even more. Long may that continue. Now, this is only the third citywide update I've actually done since the beginning of the channel. I've been doing them every 50 videos, but I don't think that's enough. So going forward, I think I'm going to make them a lot more frequent, possibly every 25 videos. As a start, so look forward to those. But a lot has changed since the last tour. The biggest changes being that we've got both of our trains running, the passenger train in white 60051 and the red The Beast 60098 with its many carriages. But other significant changes have been the introduction of Fast Food Corner, my very first mock modular, which is an 8-parter video, which is well worth watching. And I've just added right next to that the new bookstore, half modular, because I do need a half one there for the spacing. I've also started my beach, which will see a lot better from the standing hole in the middle of my setup, and the bridges going over the river that completed the rail track. Not only that, but I've finished the tram line, so we can see that moving as well. So lots and lots of progress made. Well, I think we should get in the thick of the action and stand in the main viewing hole in here and turn on all the motors that we've now got running and start the tour from that perspective. First the helicopter. Next, the wind turbine. Then the tram. Then the subway train. Fantastic. Let's turn on these two. On and on. So we've got the passenger train. And the cargo train. Right, well hopefully you can still hear me. It's pretty noisy in here, but we've got a lot of good mobile action. And I suppose that's the biggest change since the last update, was actually having all of these things working. Because we didn't have a complete rail circuit. So, although I could have put the trains on earlier, they wouldn't have been able to go round and round, just back and forth. And now we just have all these little snapshots where we can't see the trains coming, but we just have them flying through gaps between buildings, which is exactly how I like it. One of my 5 main design rules is density, and that shot shows that very well. And I do intend to get more motors going in my city in due course. I mean, this helicopter is just fantastic. Just power functions in there. And you can see how I did that, and did the hidden switch down here and all the rest of it. Because on my channel, absolutely every process is recorded, and every single building and item has its own video showing how it was done. Oh, all three unshot. Brilliant. And here's the beach, an area currently under development with our brand new fish and chip shop with a 3D fish and our seagull attack scene. This is the tour bus that represents absolutely all of you from all around the world, whether you're Dutch, Irish, Australian, Spanish, North American, South American, Canadian, German, Scottish, Scandinavian, Indian, or Mexican. Oh, and there's a Kiwi on the downstairs as well. So I suppose we better focus on progress since last time. Well, last time we'd finished the subway system. Yeah, still going. But we hadn't done any of these shops on top. And we hadn't even finished this river. So we've got the river with the escaped crocodile. And he escaped from the exotic pet shop, which is very leaky indeed. So we've got a snake coming out of there and there at that side. Got a new Lego store, essential for every town. I wish Nottingham did. A TV and game store with a new game release. Our winter sports shop with Yeti 3D sign, and yes, that is Lego. And next to our wonderful Old Town with Castle on Castle Rock and onto Major Oak Hill. We've got the Crown Pub and the tourist office, and there is Mrs. Hood outside there. And then we've got some fast food options and a new arcade with another 3D sign. And the bike's all propped up. We've got At Sweat with its new air conditioning unit and solar panels. And the track is all now fully ballasted with my personal technique for keeping it only one plate above ground level. Got a little scene on the corner with a continuous curve switch that I modified myself. I put in the Palace Cinema with a interesting premiere scene. So we've got some celebrities on the red carpet being let in before the fans. And more recently, I've put in the rest of this tram line with a tram stop here where it ends, because this big space over here is going to be the main railway station that is currently being developed. Lovely long train. And then we've got the beach and boardwalk area. Now this is an area that shows off my second design rule, which is to build on many different levels. So it's showing off a few of them. We've got the sea level down here where somebody can have a snooze, and the beach isn't finished yet. Or you can get some fresh seafood, have a shower, or get changed in a beach cabin. Then we've got our boardwalk level, which still has a lot to add, which is 5 bricks higher. And all of that is still 1 brick lower than the main street level. And that just gives a really contrasting view to a lot of Lego cities that are all on one level when you see it kind of like that. Add to that the fact that we've got underground levels, this being a kind of a cutaway from the street just so we can see what's going on underground. I do plan even more little things like Gollum here in his tunnel network, because I've got all of this space under here to do scenes in. But then we also go up as well. We've got some hills or mountains for some buildings. We've got low-flying aircraft on top of buildings. But then we go up even higher than that with aircraft hung from the ceiling. 3 jets there. An alien mothership there with oversized gun. That's possibly my favourite set. And then the recent addition was my skydivers, all pouring out of this plane. I do love them. It's a very dynamic pose. And then even higher than that is space, represented by the ceiling itself. So this is actually stuck onto the ceiling. And there's a passenger jet with Lego DB Cooper jumping out of it. Wonderful harbour. There's still room in the harbour for a few more ships, so I think I'll be expanding that. We've got my favourite old set, the Eldorado Fortress in the corner, which is now a tourist attraction, with the Zeppelin full of adventurers going off on an adventure. We've got lots of cargo, lots of cranes, a ferry, and a big warehouse base, which has actually got a huge mech being built by Dr. Inferno in here. That's a video I'd recommend watching as well. Very good. So there's still plenty of room for expansion. Got a big area here, Pride of Place, next to the Destiny's Bounty Chinese restaurant. And this is another example of the different levels involved. So again, we've got sea level and this 5 brick increase up to this level, which means that the boat is very much more deep into it rather than being sort of towering above the land. And then this level at street level is 6 bricks higher. So there's the marina. Lots and lots of boats. Lots of different levels and 3D-ness. Market Square. More steps and ramps up to different levels. And even here, a 3D subway entrance. You can see that's really quite deep with a man in there. So that really adds further to the 3D nature of the city. So we've got our row of modulars here, which will be one of 3 rows of modulars, I hope, in the future, with smaller buildings in front. And these smaller buildings don't have backs on them, they don't have stairs going up to every level, and they are missing a few things that people like to see in Lego buildings. But one of my design rules is that Lego City should look like a Lego city, and therefore shouldn't necessarily have loads of bathrooms and stairs up to every level. So I'm very happy with a city looking like Lego and not being real life. So you can see the depth here, the diversity of having something up front, another level behind, the 3rd modular level, and then another level even behind that, which is the facades. Now these give the impression that the city goes on even further back, even though they're only 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 bricks deep. So we've got Ari's Deli was that first one, and we've got this tower block presided over by President Business in his double height office. Got this nice thin red tower made out of Junior's panel pieces with the drone outside delivering a package. And then we've got possibly my favourite, the Condo Building, where each of these condos has got a little scene going on in it. And the best scene is almost certainly the man on the ledge who's been caught with this man's wife. Oh, the tram's stopped. There we go. Old technology needs a bit of a helping hand every now and then. This is another space that definitely needs filling. Really should fill these gaps so I get areas completely done. We've got more facades on the wall, being another residential building and a hotel. That's another one of my rules, is to not have residential buildings in the main city because they're much less exciting than businesses. But I do make an exception for facades because they don't take up much space. And my castle, which is a sort of homage to all the old sets, and it's got echoes of Lion Castle and the Black Falcon's Fortress, especially with that lovely yellow arch. It's probably my favourite bit of it. And I like functions to not only be there but be nice and visible. And there's a functioning portcullis as well. The 80s Armory, modernised a bit. And the 80s Blacksmith, modernised a bit. Juggling Jester. Now this is supposed to be another tourist destination in Brick Nottingham, with actors playing knights that are attacking the castle and so on. I think the ghost in the dungeon might be a real ghost. But as yet I haven't actually added any tourists, so really I need to add a heck of a lot of people with cameras all looking like they're on a day out. A nice bird nest there. My historic statue there. And thank goodness I've started to expand the roads and actually put some vehicles on them, thanks to my New Year's resolution. The roads were completely bare, but I do think I need to add a lot more, and a lot more pedestrians as well. Anyone who watches my hauls will know that I've been collecting a lot of minifigures each time. Oh, the tram stopped again. Doesn't like to run for prolonged periods, it would seem. Now, one of the things I'm most proud of is my blue bridge, which was inspired by a very old 1970s picture in a Lego catalogue. I've sort of taken it to the next level and used more modern pieces to make it even better. Cliffs with a monster. My grey bridge for the cargo train. This is a whole area that's very much in need of development. My old fishing store, which I've reversed. And that means that its stairs go all the way from beach level, all the way around here, and are a way up to the top. and I intend to use this area for something quite special. So look forward to that. And this will be my second run of modulars, just 3 here. Already got the diner in place. That space there for the station, as I say. So all this area over the tracks will be completely filled with platforms and all the rest. And it will link up with the tram stop up here via some stairs, and to the subway system via a hole in the floor. This is the back of my fast food corner and the new bookstore. Looking good. Oh, just missed the underground train there. Right, I'll try and take some wider shots. It's getting harder and harder to film in this room as I fill it up with more and more Lego. I'm in a standing hole, as you've probably guessed. And the room will ultimately have 2 standing holes, with one being over there. So the room will kind of be a figure 8 of tables, with the 2 holes being standing holes. And I will have absolutely no space, apart from crawling underneath tables, to put my lights and all the rest of it for filming. Oh, it does look good with everything going, doesn't it? Started to wonder whether it's coming then. I tried to put in as many Easter eggs as I can. So you already saw Gollum down there, but there's a monster here as well. Oh. And I'm planning a lot more Easter eggs throughout the city as I go. So we've talked about density, which I think I'm achieving quite well. Another one of my design rules is diversity. So rather than have massive buildings or a huge airport that takes 20 base plates or something like that, I try and limit any build to a maximum of 1 base plate, so I can have more different things. So rather than have 10 fantastic big buildings, I'd rather have 30 really interesting, diverse ones. And that diversity extends to what types of things I put in as well. So you can see with the castle and with the Eldorado Fortress, I've got some really old sets in there. Every type of transport you can imagine. Lots of different building styles, even sort of age of buildings. Some deliberately distressed. Tram's just stopped again. I could have gone for a beach twice as long as this and twice as deep, but again it would take too much space. I would absolutely adore to have 4 trains running instead of 3. that a tram kind of counts, but you know what I mean, even more. But trains take up the most room of all with the amount of track they need. Right, I reckon we should get some low down shots. So, many thanks again for all your support, all your views, and all of your comments and opinions. And I'll see you again for another city update, hopefully in only 25 videos. I'm going to try and fill in all these spaces. I'm also going to try and finish this station, which is highly in demand. I want to finish the beach and the area behind the old fishing store. But really, there's 101 jobs to do, because I've got, behind the light there, I've got some fairground rides. And I've even designed my own fairground rides to go in a huge fairground, which will be at the far end of the city in due course, and that just seems like a long way off at the moment due to the fact that we've got so many things to do in so little time. But we will get there. We must remember that it's only actually been just over 10 months to do all of this. And everything, as I say, has got its own video. And there are fun scenes absolutely all over the place. So it won't be too long until we've got the goal of the channel successfully completed. And that goal is to fill this entire room with as much Lego as it can take. So, thank you very much for watching, as always. Do remember to like, comment and subscribe for more awesome LEGO videos. And next time on Robin Hood Bricks, we'll be continuing with our main train station. See you then!